In the previous lectures, we presented Moshe Greenberg's theory regarding the uniqueness of the biblical legal philosophy and some of the arguments of his opponents. In this lecture, we will attempt to assess the different views and suggest a new, more balanced appreciation of the relationship between biblical law and cuneiform law. Greenberg has shown that in some cases the Bible adapts Mesopotamian law in a way that seems to reflect a different legal view. But how extensive is this phenomenon? Does it cover the entire legal system of the Bible? An answer to this question was suggested by a leading scholar of ancient Near Eastern law, Raymond Westbrook. Westbrook was one of the giants in this field who has published dozens of detailed studies on ancient Near Eastern law. In his studies, Westbrook has demonstrated that the ancient Near East, including Israel, possessed a common legal legacy. Westbrook found numerous examples of this common legacy, including many legal principles shared by all the ancient Near Eastern legal traditions known to us. We cannot go into detail here. To give you a general sense of this common legacy, we will briefly mention a few cases that exemplify Westbrook's conclusion. 1. A law regarding an injured person's right to medical compensation. This law is known in the Bible, the Code of Hammurabi, and the Hittite laws. 2. Laws relating to pregnant women who suffer blows that cause them to miscarry. These appear in the Bible, the Lipit Ishtar laws, the Code of Hammurabi, the Middle Assyrian laws, and the Hittite laws. 3. A law regarding the rape of a betrothed girl that differentiates between two cases, rape in the field and rape in the city. This law occurs in both the Bible and the Hittite laws. You are encouraged to read more about each of these examples and about many others in the bibliography recommended for reading at the end of this unit. Westbrook's findings are diverse and detailed. They show that the features common to Israelite and other ancient Near Eastern legal systems outweigh the disparities between them. In light of this data, it would be a mistake to portray biblical law as a unique system that fundamentally differs from those of the surrounding cultures. The Israelite legal system, including both its philosophy and details, generally belongs to a global ancient Near Eastern tradition. Only on the basis of this understanding can we now address its exclusive characteristics as identified by Greenberg and others. Of all the distinctive features noted by Greenberg, the most striking appears to relate to the point of origin of the law. Here, Greenberg's insight is eye-opening. The Bible repeatedly stresses that the only source of law is God rather than any Israelite king. A prominent expression of this idea appears in the following widespread formula, which introduces legal passages throughout the Bible.
And God spoke to Moses, saying.
We shall conclude this unit with the words of the biblical scholar Moshe Weinfeld, who commented on the topic of the source of law as follows.
In contrast to ancient Near Eastern law, Israelite law does not recognize the king as legislator. The king is subject to the law in the same manner as his brethren and subjects. Israelite law comes to prove that it is God, rather than the king, who is the righteous judge, who gives just statutes and ordinances. This unique and exceptional phenomenon was noted as early as Diodorus the Sicilian, who writes that the Jews attribute the law of Moses to God himself. A stark contrast thus exists between the Mesopotamian and Israelite view of the law. The former forms part of a royal, secular system, the latter part of a religious sacral system. Rather than a royal edict, as across the ancient Near East, Israelite law is a divine command.